Well, good evening, everybody. But this is your carnival friend George, still 59, still calling from Bridgewater in Somerset in England. And it's the evening of Saturday, the 30th of August, and it's just coming up to 9 p.m. local time, which is British summertime. So, first and foremost, this being the 30th of August, we must wish our YouTube colleague Stephanie Taylor a very happy birthday, somewhere in her mid 30s, but by the looks of her anyway. So anyway, Steph, happy birthday! Hope you've had a great time. Yeah, so this is my first catch up for maybe a month. I've been so busy with so many different things that I've got a lot to share with you, a lot to tell you, and yeah, it's obviously the last time we spoke was before the Great British Meetup on August the 2nd. That went well, to say the least. We had a great weekend. The Friday evening, we had an informal gathering at Sourdown Farm where Ashley did the hog roast for the public, and that went down very well. And on the Saturday, we actually had the meetup itself. It was the first attempt, it was not bad. I'll give myself a 7 out of 10. I think most people enjoyed themselves, where there are one or two issues arising from it, which we will be dealing with next time, because I can assure you there will, in fact, be a next time. And just to give you a very sneaky preview, the Sourdown has been booked again for the 13th of June next year. We're moving it back a couple of months to avoid the school holidays and to stay away from the other festivals which are happening around that time. Also, it's the time of the year where the days are the longest, there is the most daylight, and it will be there'll be plenty of camping there again, and it will be following on once again from a public evening at Sourdown on Friday, June the 12th. I have requested that Lucy consider getting Ashley for another hog roast for the public evening, as it went down very well this time. But we haven't actually announced it officially yet, so this is kind of a sneak preview. We will be announcing it officially with a preview video, hopefully a panel preview coming up in the next week or so, when we'll have a few panel members and we will discuss how we are planning to do it. So that's a wonderful piece of news. And in the meantime, there is the possibility of an event on November the 15th, which will be a fairly niche, fairly specialist event, because it will be autumn or the fall here in the UK, which is a season of the game meat. In other words, the wild meats that are harvested from the wild. Myself, Lauren, and Ashley, Carl, and Lainey are discussing it. And Ashley has agreed that there should be no problem in doing the catering. We are looking at a village hall rather than the Sourdown venue, because we're going to keep it to more manageable numbers. If anybody's interested, please let me know. But as I said, it will be a very much a niche event because it will be the wild game. So if you're not really interested in wild game, in this case venison and pheasant, then it's probably not for you. However, if you are, then please let me know. And again, we will be announcing it officially once the village hall has been booked, or once we can establish the fact that we can book the village hall, which is about 2 miles from Sourdown and about a mile from Ashley. So that is one of definitely for the notebooks, and please do let me know if you're interested. And as I said, we will again be announcing that probably at the same time as we announce the actual Great British Meetup in the not too distant future. I've got so much to tell you, I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. Firstly, perhaps I'll say that we are continuing with the Dr. Kilt's certified keto carnivore coaching course. I've been so busy that I've fallen behind on the written work. However, I have promised Alia and the team that I will be catching up in September, and to that end, I have actually quit the day job in construction, and I will be focusing on being basically a full-time carnivore over the next month to 2 months. until such time as I run out of money, and then I'll have to try and find some work again, possibly. However, I do intend to attempt to use my journalism skills and my coaching skills to perhaps get an income, which will be supported by my army pension, which will kick in on Tuesday. As on Tuesday, I will no longer be your 59-year-old carnivore friend. I will be your 60-year-old carnivore friend. And the modest military pension I get from the army will hopefully tide me over, maybe for the rest of this year, but definitely until the end of October. And we'll just have to see where it goes from there. I might have to dip in and out of construction just to supplement my modest income, but hey ho. But I won't be going back to full-time 60-hour weeks because I simply don't have time to do that anymore. And it's it's far more fun trying to eke out a living, maybe from YouTube, maybe from a bit of journalistic work, and maybe a bit of coaching and teaching. I'm also a qualified TEFL teacher, teaching this as a foreign language. So I have a computer, I have an office, which I'm in now, as you can see. I have an accountant who has kindly volunteered her services, should I actually start making money. And I have a head full of dreams, about how we're actually going to do this. So that's the update from my employment point of view. And so, yeah, still doing the coaching course. And as many of you will know, I have recently actually gone and visited Wyoming, the town of Riverton, where the Rendezvous City Beef Roundup was supposed to happen this year. It would have been the 6th edition of it. However, our friend Tyler McCann was unable to actually produce it this year due to a series of very, very unfortunate personal circumstances, which included the death of his father-in-law, Calvin Hancock, who was one of the great cowboys over in Wyoming. And he passed on July the 11th, and obviously the knock-on effect of having to deal with that bereavement at such short notice meant that Tyler was unable to do justice to this year's roundup. Therefore, he had to cancel it, much to his disappointment and upset, as he called it. However, I was due to go there as the prize winner from Dr. Kiltz's sponsorship, and the flights were booked, and I asked if he would like me to go and just be his guest for the weekend, and he very kindly agreed. So I flew out to Riverton on August the 20th. It was a very big adventure, to say the least. I left Heathrow on Wednesday, August the 20th, and arrived some 24 hours later, very late at night, in Riverton. It was quite a journey. I flew the 10 hours to Denver International with United Airlines. And I just want to give a big shout out to the cabin crew on that, because I've got a new friend, and I've got a couple of new friends actually from Denver. One of them being Sandy. She is a fabulous lady and that took good care of me on the flight out, and there will be more of her later on the return journey. So yeah, I got into Denver, and thanks to my great friend Mark Caldwell from the United States, he briefed me on how to get through Denver, and Denver is actually quite easy. So I was able to negotiate Denver no problems at all, and got the short hop to Riverton, where I found Tyler waiting for me. And he picked me up and took me back to the homestead, where I was given the loan of the lodge, which Calvin had called home. And it was a great privilege to actually move into that lodge where Calvin's spirit was still very much alive and well. I am telling the story of Wyoming on my Facebook page. I am doing it in a journalistic form of a magazine with photographs. Those of you who don't have me on Facebook as yet, I'm easily found on Facebook under my own name, and my profile picture is the one with me with my very signature flat cap. I am wearing a Wyoming cap tonight, not the usual British one, which, as you can see, it's cooked meat rare again. Very proud of it, and it came home as a souvenir. So yeah, if you want to catch up on my want to find out on my Wyoming adventure, then please go and visit my Facebook. I don't have any significant video from it, so I won't be able to post it in video form here on YouTube, but you can catch up with it on Facebook. So, what other news have I got? Well, I've still active here on YouTube. This will be the last One Take Wonder, hopefully, on this channel, because I will be upgrading my abilities on YouTube. I will be learning how to use StreamYard to have guests on. I will be doing chat shows based on this channel. I will be learning how to make thumbnails, and I will be learning how to edit as well. So hopefully it will be a bit more professional rather than just the One Take Wonder, which we are doing at the moment. But that is for the future. I've got to get the course out of the way. I've got to concentrate on that first, but then believe me, I will be doing the chat shows. I already have a few chat shows lined up for this channel. One of which we will be in October, in the build up to Halloween, with my great friend Dawn Bahula from California, Southern California. She goes under Life After 60 with Resting Witch Face, and her channel is going from strength to strength on a daily basis. So if anybody out there hasn't gone and subscribed to Dawn, please go and do so. The other person who really was responsible for me starting this channel was Sarah at Healthy Carnivore UK. Now, Sarah has taken a bit of a back seat during the summer because she's had a lot of family not issues, but family holidays and family things to deal with, because she's a teaching assistant in a school. So she's had the summer off and has been to Cornwall and has had to deal with one of her sons going to Ayia Napa in Cyprus, which was a bit of a fraught experience for her, but I'm glad to say that everything is okay. And in the last couple of days, she has reappeared on YouTube and is going Lion Diet next week. And I have basically been not exactly teasing her, but I've been encouraging her to come back with a few more lives. And I'm hoping that she and I will be working together on chat shows on both her channel and streaming it on each other's channels. So that'd be really nice. Sarah, if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Also, they, having come back from Wyoming, I can confirm that the Rendezvous City Beef Roundup for 2026 is very much alive and well, and Tyler is planning on relaunching it in 2026. During the long weekend I spent in Wyoming, we had another member of the committee come, and we went and visited the Fremont Center and the showground where it will take place next year. Had a good wander around, and we already started the planning process. The enthusiasm is there, the possibilities are there, and yeah, we had Tyler had what we call a fallow year this year, having had 5 successful Rendezvous City Beef Roundups, but next year it will be back. And as we know from the Glastonbury Festival here in the UK, the occasional fallow year does no harm whatsoever. I can confirm that next year, in 2026, the Glastonbury Festival will not be returning, because Michael Eavis and his daughter wish to give the grounds at Worthy Farm the year off. But it will be back in 2028, 2027. Therefore, it's it does no harm to have a fallow year every now and again, and I'm very much looking forward to the Beef Roundup of 2026. It is my absolute intention to get back there for 26, because I now know how easy it is to get to Rivers in Wyoming from Heathrow, and I hope to be able to take a delegation from the UK with me, because it's going to be a wonderful experience, and I think that people will enjoy it going from the UK. The expense is not too bad. You know, the flights are moderately expensive, but the accommodation in Riverton is very good, and it's not expensive compared to the UK prices. We are looking at the Hampton Inn for the UK delegation, which is just outside of town and will be quite a reasonable price. Riverton Airport itself is only 10 minutes from the town, and there will be options there. We will look at maybe getting the shuttle buses going, or possibly even the Gator Creek, the wonderfully named Gator Creek taxi service, which do regular runs from Riverton Airport into town. And again, come the event itself, then there will either be a shuttle bus or the Gator Creek taxi service will take care of us, depending on numbers. We shall have to wait and see. But that's for next year, and really looking forward to that. So we covered the what's happening in the UK. We covered the course that we are doing, and we covered the Rendezvous City Beef Roundup for 2026. So really looking forward to that. My YouTube activities are going to increase here on this channel, but in the meantime, I am still one of the co-hosts for the Sunday School Carnival, which is hosted by John Laspina on his channel, The Carnival Teacher. I had to miss last week when we had the excellent Amy Perrin on, type 1 diabetic, very, very successful in managing her type 1 diabetes through Carnival. And I'm delighted to say that, again, a quick heads up here, tomorrow night we have the excellent Homesick Buckeye, Russ Mitchell, booked in. I shall be returning. Russ is not the most serious character in the world. He's very much larger than life. And those of you who know him will know he does his keto cookout on Tuesdays. And he's all about having fun rather than worrying too much about the more scientific side of Carnival, which is kind of me as well. So I'm very much looking forward to being part of the team which hosts Russ tomorrow night on Sunday School Carnival. Another thing that's about the course that we are doing, we have recently launched a WhatsApp group, which means that we are now, which is exclusive to the students on that particular course. And I think we have 38 members now, and we're all very much friends. And through this particular group, I have linked up with the excellent Alia English, a young lady from South Carolina who has her own YouTube channel, which is Alia _the carnival. And she has instigated something called the Monday morning meetup, which is 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 2 o'clock my time, and she has invited me to be the co-host for the foreseeable future. We have already done one together, and we are doing our second one this Monday. So if anybody is available at 0900 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, please do come and join us. And yeah, we'll have some fun. We're trying to line up a very good guest from LA. I think she's going to join us. The wonderful Angela Lero, who has an incredible story. But I just need to get confirmation of that because it will be 6 a.m. her time in LA, and that's very early. But failing that, then we will have another. Then we will have another good guest on. I feel quite sure, or we might just talk amongst ourselves and invite anybody to join in on the chat. We shall have to wait and see. It's early days as yet. When it comes to YouTube, I wish to give a shout out to my wife, Lainey. Lainey Bridges Goodenough. She now has her own YouTube channel, which she is telling her story of the cancer journey on in the form of photos and words. She has 19 subscribers at the moment, so please, she would like to find some more. You'll find her under Lainey Bridges Goodenough, Carnival Lamsie, Lambsie. She would love to have you as a subscriber to her channel. She will be doing some videos herself in the future, but for the moment she's just finding her way with photos and with the written stuff. Guys, it's been already, I'm nearly 20 minutes in. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you now. Probably not, but if there is anything else I think of, then I will come back with an appendix to this video, probably tomorrow being Sunday. Oh yeah, there is one little story which I meant to tell you, which is associated with Sunday from Wyoming, which is quite amusing. And that's that my excellent hostess, Angela Hancock McCann, is training to be a pastor in the Church of the Nazarene over in Wyoming. That particular church is in Kinnear, which is just down the road from Pavilion, which is where the McCanns live. And last Sunday we had the church service in the morning, and I duly went along. and there was a guest speaker, there was a guest preacher that day, a Dr. Musa, who's actually based in Kenya now. He's come halfway around the world to come and preach as a missionary in the Church of the Nazarene in Kenya in Wyoming, and I was introduced to him. I flew halfway around the world to come and meet the McCanns, and we established the fact that he'd come halfway around the world, as had I. But previously to him being in Kenya, he'd actually had the mission. He was the pastor of the church in Weston-super-Mare here in Somerset, England. So it turns out that we've flown halfway around the world to meet each other, when in fact we did used to live only 17 miles from each other, but we didn't actually know we didn't know each other then. But we've both got the irony of the fact that we've flown halfway around the world to meet somebody who used to be virtually next door neighbours. So that was good fun. And Dr. Musa was good fun as well, because he breathed a real fire, and he preached a real fire and brimstone sermon, and it was yes, he was quite memorable to say the very least. So that was a bit of good fun and a nice story to end this particular video with. So it's Saturday evening here in Bridgewater in Somerset in the UK. I'm sure that the young people are out enjoying themselves and dancing and drinking and doing all the stuff that I perhaps used to do when I was a younger man, but not anymore. But it's been a pleasure talking to you again. I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, I will be back. But as I said, it is my intention to turn this into a more professional channel in the future. And there will be chat shows. As you know, my mantra is carnivore is fun. So those chat shows will be fun. There'll be a regular one with Tyler McCann from the Beef Rendezvous Beef City Roundup. It's going to be called the News from the Alligator Mountain, and that will become clear as to why it's called News from the Alligator Mountain as we go along. But it will be basically keeping everybody up to date as to what's happening with the roundup for next year, and also what's happening out on the ranch, which is going to be good fun. It really will be. Anyway, I'm waffling now, so I'm going to say good night, God bless, and I'll see you again soon.